And so, God, can you imagine the shock, David? Can you imagine the shock of firing off the gun and realizing that you just killed somebody and everyone around you is panicking and freaking out and you're just like...
Well, that's, first of all, that's so fucking ridiculous in the first place, that even if it's a prop gun, right? The fact that they have live rounds there, it should never fucking be on set.
Right.
Why the fuck is there a live round on set?
That's wild to me. Yeah, they said they were doing target practice or something.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We have a very, very special returning guest once again. We have Big Boss Boze.
Can I just say that? Do you know the origin of that name at all?
No.
It was supposed to be a joke. Because like I'm 4'11", hence the big, not true. And then boss, I made that when I was entry level at Smosh. So it was funny because I was like the most entry level person. So it was Big Boss Boze. It was supposed to be a joke the whole time.
And nobody fucking knows.
I don't know. Like I think that like everyone actually thinks that I think I'm like a badass. Like
this fucking conceited bitch.
God, dude. Oh,
we need to talk about your fucking prison life right now with your 17 tattoos.
No, but you know what we really need to talk about, David?
The show.
Our live show. I wanted to like grab your hands like that. Be like, David!
Let's do it, bitch! Fucking pussy on pussy. Let's do it.
Dude, look, LA kind of opening back up. Well, except for the show, you have to have your COVID vaccination card. Like you have to have it or you have to have some kind of digital thing or something like that. But as long as you have it, come on, get in here, enjoy the show. Like, bro, I've been so excited for this for like, honestly, David, I've been excited for this for like a year or two. Like ever since I worked at Live Nation, I always wanted to do a live show. Bro, I need to be on a stage.
It's fun. Like, listen, Genius Brain has never done a live show, so this is the best way to fucking do it. I'm super excited. I've not too many people do live podcasts, and I've been asking like advice from other people. They're like, we don't know.
Easy.
They've done it. They're like, we don't know what works. We're just putting it live, and everything's so fucking new. Nobody knows what they're doing right now with it.
But I mean, like, it's fun. Like, I mean, like, really, the show is going to be, well, I have some segments for us, David. I've already planned some things out. David's letting me run everything. So I want it to be super fun. My goal is to always make sure everyone's having really fun. Like, a lot of fun. So I think it's going to be sick. But yeah, it's mostly going to be us doing this, except in person. And like, the room is really big. We ain't going to sell this whole room out, okay? Like, that ain't going to happen. I was on the email with them. I'm like, can y'all close off the balcony? But honestly, dude, when we sold out the front row in like the first 30 minutes, I could not fucking believe it.
A lot of the tickets are gone though. Like,
dude, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Oh my God. I'm like, I keep waving and then like my like fat is jiggling here and then my tattoo hurts. Let me show
you my fat, man. I've been getting mad chunky lately. This COVID weight has got my ass, man.
Really?
Well, I was looking at old videos. This is what I hate about YouTube. It catalogs your life, specifically your weight. And so like prior to COVID, before I was doing all the food stuff, I was kickboxing all the time, jujitsu, doing all sort of shit. And then you don't realize how much weight you gain because it happens so slowly. And then recently, I had to go to a wedding and I tried to put on the suit. That button was gonna blast the fuck off.
Shut the fuck up. I just pictured it.
No, like it. When I went to the wedding, I couldn't button the suit. So I had 3 days before the wedding was actually there because I was a part of the party. So I said, I'm gonna starve myself for 3 days just so I could fit into this fucking suit. And it was so hot in Sacramento that by the time the wedding hit, I sweated all my fat off just barely enough where I could fucking fit that suit. Fucking COVID.
David walking around the wedding like this.
No, I was mad stiff. They're like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? It's like, it's for your safety.
David, your posture's gotten better.
It's for your safety. It's for your safety, cuz.
How you been?
But why you get so many tattoos for though?
Oh shit, dude. I kind of did go a little ham with it. I got the.
You had 0 fucking tattoos the last time I saw you.
I'm here for Genius Brain to catalog my life. Like, dude, I definitely come here through phases of life, and that's why I came back so soon because now I'm a jailbird.
But the last time it was maybe a couple of months ago. People usually get one, they chill out for a little bit, and they get another one. You got fucking 4.
Okay, so
5.
This isn't that interesting, but just to explain it, I didn't get tattoos for like, I think I got one when I was 18, then I didn't get any for like 11 years.
Where's that one at?
I have one on my back.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a tattoo on my back that says vicious. I'm not kidding. I don't give a fuck. Everyone's like, you're going to regret that. And then we'll get there. But like, so for many years, and actually I'll talk about this because there's probably a lot of other people like me too. My mom was like, what? She would like shame me for tattoos. Like, why did you get, she would like be really disgusted. Or, you know, people would be like, oh, you need to get a job, all this kind of stuff. And then, so I got really scared to get tattoos because I didn't know what my trajectory was going to be. And then my YouTube channel kind of blew up. And then I got like some other offers and some other things. And I'm like, okay, so I am doing this forever. So I finally just got the tattoos that I've always wanted. So the reason I got so many so fast is because these are all tattoos that I've wanted for the past 10 years, but I was too scared to get. And then I just fired off and got everything I wanted.
Well, you got to explain them because they look intricate as fuck.
Dude, that's the other thing too. I'm so happy I waited until I was in my late 20s to get tattoos.
So you could afford a good tattoo.
I could afford good ones. Yes. This shit is fucking expensive, David. Hold on. Can you look at these? Bro, look at this one. Like, well, actually, it's behind like the plastic, but you can
Yo, that's just crazy.
Isn't that insane?
And
Yeah. And then this one, this was the first one. Fucking nuts. Same chick that did this one. And then like this one. This one's peeling, but you can just see like all the fine lines like that.
The thing about tattoo is I don't understand how people, I can't draw on fucking paper. How the fuck do people do that on skin?
This is my mask because on the camera, it looks like I just left my drawers.
Yeah.
It does.
I was like, yo, where else did you get a tattoo?
This is my... Just pull them out real quick. This is my mask, y'all. That'd be weird if it wasn't. I'm sorry, David. You're like,
how much did they cost? How much? First of all, I don't even know how much tattoos cost because I've never had one.
Honestly, these were pretty expensive because of how intricate they were.
Well, yeah, because they look gangster as fuck.
Well, if you want any for the video, like the higher quality ones, so people can see though. But this one cost me about $700, which is quite a bit. But for something I'm gonna have forever, I want it to be beautiful. Yeah. I want it to be like artful, you know. This text one that I got, this one was only like $300, but it was done by a really good guy that does like single needle pokes. That's
the most gangster fucking phrase. Why the fuck did you get that on you? That's just so threatening. No prisoners, no mercy.
Because I mean it.
Oh my.
I told you this, David. Like, I mean, I mean that shit. Like, dude, you know me. I'm ride or die. I'm ride or die as fuck, right? And it's like, once I connect with somebody and I'm like, okay, we good, great. But if something happens and you don't want to be here anymore, if you don't want to ride anymore, I'll double check with you and then we're done.
Yeah.
And like, that's what that's how I am. But you're like that too.
Yeah, but I don't know if I could get a tattoo on it because that shit make me nervous.
Yeah.
I feel like when they put that on me, people are like, oh, you down to fight? And I'm like, no, man, it's just cute.
I am.
I know you are, you fucking scrappy little bitch. The fuck?
Well, to be fair,
that one looks painful. That one looks fucking painful.
Dude, this one did hurt, but I mean, we did it.
That's scary as hell. What is that?
But so, okay, let me tell you what this is though, because it's actually kind of crazy. So this is a tattoo of Anna Varney Cantadilla, who's the lead singer of this gothic rock band called Sephora Turnus in the Ensemble of Shadows. Now, let me tell you why this
bitch just said 18 words that I don't know what the fuck is going on.
She's a musician, right?
Okay.
Now, let me say this. Homegirl, she came out in the 80s in Germany as transgender. That is the most gangster shit I've ever heard. Like in the 80s, bro, in Germany. But trust me, she went through a lot. And so all of her pain that she went through, she translated into her music. And it is some of the most, it's gothic. So like if people don't like that kind of stuff, like whatever, but her pain is in all of her music and it is beautiful. And like, I love true artists. Like I love them so much. And so like, this is like the strongest woman in the world to me. So I want to pay homage.
Damn, dude. So you actually get tattoos that have like legit fucking meaning. Like it's important to you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that now. They just get some random cute shit and they go, why did you get that? They go, it was cute.
Bro, I mean, yeah, I've been thinking about this shit. Or
what are those then? Explain those ones.
So this one's more of like a religious, but also an occult piece. I've talked about this before. I have a lot of religious trauma. Religious trauma has defined my entire life. And a lot of times when people are hurt by something, they try to take the power back from it. So my way is adorning myself with kind of Christian symbolism. And I plan to have a lot more of it as well. And then this one is a plague doctor. Do you know what plague doctors were?
No.
David, let me, like, this is all, like, this just is crazy, but also they look badass as fuck, right? You can't stop looking. Dave, you like my ink? Thank you, David.
Well, they look like art pieces.
Dad, that's so interesting. Thank you so much. See, isn't it sick? I waited till I was older.
Yeah, because all the homies who got like tattoos when they were 17, they look like 17-year-old tattoos.
Right, and they took up all the good real estate. And like, as much as I want to get more, I want to like, wait a minute, because like, what if I have more ideas and get more into the tattoo artistry? I love the spacing on these ones. Wait, I'll show you guys a little bit. Yo, this dude the other night, he was like, this is giving me Angelina Jolie vibes. And I was like, thank you.
Oh, he's trying to fuck, for sure.
Okay, let me tell you all about the plague doctors though, okay? So way back in the day when the bubonic plague was happening, right? They're like, everybody's getting sick and they're like, oh shit. And the doctor's like, yeah, let's check this out. And then they're like, oh, everybody's dying. The bubonic plague was not playing around. Every single person was fucking dying. People already weren't showering back then. Dead bodies everywhere, decomposing, all this shit, right? And so the doctors, they go into the councils, like the government, and they're like, yo, let's level here for a second. We're the doctors. We have all this information. We can't go out there because if we die, you guys will lose all the medicine. So we've got a solution. We'll get some of the villagers, we'll teach them about medicine, and then we'll send them out. So then they found people that were willing to risk their lives to learn to possibly be doctors, to learn from these doctors. And then if they survive, then maybe they will become that. But the main thing of the plague doctors, unbeknownst to them, was really for death tolls. So what they did was they took these untrained people and kind of told them, hey, here's how you heal the plague. And then let us know how many people are dead. And they would send them in with these masks, that thing with the beak.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, because I said the smell of the human bodies was terrifying to people, like the flesh that was like dying. So they would put incense at the end of that beak so that they couldn't smell it as much, and the plague doctors could go around and kind of do their thing. So that's just kind of.
So that's what that fucking beak was for.
Yeah, it had incense in it.
Oh my God,
so, yeah.
That's just creepy as fuck.
I love it though. Is it not, bro? It's hard as fuck.
How long did they take each? How long does it take?
So this one took about 6 hours. And then I'll send you pictures of these, by the way. And then this one was 8 hours because it was like very delicate. And then here I want to get like an impressionist portrait, like a painting in here. Like
so that's not done yet.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna add something to it, bro. Yeah,
How many tattoos are you gonna get?
I don't know. Another thing too, I'm in love with people's art lately. And there are so many tattoo artists that are like true artists. I want to start combining travel with getting like a tattoo. So like there's some people that are like out in like Copenhagen or like Korea that are like the best fucking tattoo artists. Like their work is just so insane and unique. And so I would love to make it a thing like, oh, I might go travel here and then I also get a tattoo by like this crazy artist and stuff. So
how do you have a conversation with your mom who already hates you getting tattoos from you going to like one on your back to like 70?
Well, also, look, my mom, she gonna have to deal with it too. Cause I told her like a month or two ago. Yeah, oh yeah. At first she had to deal with the boots, and then like a month ago I called her, I was like, hey mom, I went on a date with a girl last night. And she was like, okay, did you have fun? And I was like, bro, we made it. We made it.
She's not freaking out about shit anymore.
No, not anymore. She's really not.
I wonder what that switch was for her though. Like what made her just be like, you know what?
Because clearly I'm doing things right. I mean, did your parents not have that like flip too?
Oh, we got into battles though. Like battles, like screaming battles. Like it took a lot of like fighting and not talking to my dad for like a whole year. He kicked me out of the house type of deal. So
oh shit. But how good are you guys now? Like if you went on a date with a man and you called him, would he be like, okay, David?
Oh no! If I told him I went,
we're not there yet.
We're not at that point yet. Like if I call my dad, like, look, Dad, I'm getting some fresh dick right now. Like he's not.
You don't have to say fresh.
No, I gotta say it like that. I'm getting fucking squeaky clean dick right now.
Raw.
My dad's like, what do you have for dinner? Penis, and I just hang up. No, I'm not gonna. My dad, because my dad's still, he's still a pastor.
David, his dad hangs up the phone.
Yeah, he's just gonna die. He's like, what? Wait. No. He's not having that type of shit.
Those were his last words.
I know. Like if I mean, me doing comedy and, you know, being who I am right now is already kind of hard for him to handle, you know, and he just got okay with that. If I threw in the gay thing in there, he's definitely killing himself. Like if I turned out to be gay, I got to keep that shit to myself for the sake of him living.
Bro, it's still sad too, because like we accept it obviously, but like our parents were like, okay, all right, you know what? Why don't we just let them move on? But my mom's like, okay, fine, whatever you want to do now. So
does she still go to church?
Oh yeah, my mother is a God-fearing Christian.
Oh, she's like one of those people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She just never try to be like, but you know.
Oh, my whole life. Why you think I'm about to get all these religious tattoos, bro? But hey, look, now the bank rolling in. Mom, where you want to go? You want to stay in Virginia? You going to be in LA when you're 80, huh? Let's play nice.
She's like, you're going to go to hell. It's like, do you know how much I'm making? You know, hell's temporary. You know, you might be able to talk the same.
It's a concept. It's just a theory.
That's crazy, though. I mean, people who are hyper religious really don't accept that.
Yeah, I know. But
so I'm shocked.
Yeah, but it's also, I don't know. I feel like
this podcast is brought to you by Daily Harvest, my friends. For me, this time of the year usually means getting back into a busier schedule. You know what happens in the holidays. You get busy. And the last thing I want to do is worry about having bomb-ass food that's good for me, that's going to take forever to make. Well, Daily Harvest helps fix that problem in my life. Daily Harvest delivers delicious harvest bowls, flatbread, smoothies, and much, much more. Organic fruits, baby. Vegetables. Oh, guess where? Right to your freaking stupid door. That's right. We're talking about convenience. Listen. If the food services that I'm getting isn't convenient and it doesn't taste good, I don't want it. Well, Daily Harvest clicks and checks those boxes. Specifically, I love me their spinach flatbreads. That spinach flatbread is fire. Not only is it fire, it's super easy to make because it's already done for you. And guess what? I know it's going to taste good because I trust Daily Harvest. All the delicious foods are built on whole organic fruits, vegetables that conveniently stays fresh in my freezer. So it's ready when I'm ready. That's right, biatch. Enjoy this time of year even more like I do with Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com/brain to get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/brain for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/brain.
David, what you been up to lately?
Me?
Tell me something crazy.
Nothing crazy much.
What's the last thing that made you mad?
Everything.
Dude, that seems like such an easy question for us, but I'm like, where do we start?
You know what's been really fucking irritating me though? Like, so I thought I had COVID like a couple of weeks ago, right? So I was like, oh shit, I got the vid. Anytime I feel sick, I feel like I got the vid. The vid. I got the COVIDs.
Got the vid.
So I felt like I had the COVIDs. So I'm going there. I got checked like 3 or 4 times within the span of a week. I don't have it. And, now it's like mentally starting to fuck me up.
Yeah.
Because I think I have COVID. And then, I go to my primary care doctor. He's like, listen, you don't have fucking COVID. Stop coming here. I'm like, listen, one more time. Just swab my asshole real quick. I got to know. But then.
David, we don't have to go through the ass. It's just my preference.
No, open me up. So during this time, I felt a little funky, and what it was, I was just fucking exhausted, right? Because I was just doing too much shit. So I'm like, okay, I just got to sleep and rest the shit off. Well, during this time, I started going through the internet. I don't really watch YouTube videos much like that.
Okay.
But for some reason on my feed, all this like political stuff started popping up, which is not stuff that I normally look at. But one of the things that started irritating me was how people debate. Have you seen these like political debate videos?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's kind of crazy how like young college students will debate people, and it's always like the right versus the left type of stuff, right? And how they come there to debate somebody, but they come completely unprepared with facts.
Oh man. Okay. So one of my really good friends, his name's Destiny. He's been doing like politics and like debates and everything like that for like fucking 10 years on the internet. Mm-hmm. Bro, he literally just like decimates anybody. But when I started watching those things, I noticed, okay, so there's this one debate of these two people about veganism. Mm-hmm. And really all it is the battle of the egos, okay? They just collect a little information and then it's like you get lucky if person A collected this information that counters person B, and they get so excited because they got that gotcha moment. Yo, I'm tired of people's gotcha moments. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, they're so excited to win. Yeah. Like, I hate that shit. I'm not into the debates.
One of the biggest things that I saw, and I'm pretty sure people know about this, but you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Yeah.
So Jordan Peterson, he was having a debate with somebody from the UK. This is the video that blew him up.
Oh, I know exactly. I've
which
seen
video.
That video several times.
I only saw that a few weeks ago.
Really?
And I was like, okay. It was just a small snippet. I was like, let me see the whole interview. So I watched the whole thing from beginning to end.
What did you think?
I never wanted to slap somebody so fucking hard in my life. This woman had lost her mind.
She was sober.
What you're saying is, it's literally the most childish debate tactic I've ever seen from an adult who's supposed to be of higher intellect.
She like went in with like, I've got 4 different avenues for a gotcha moment. She was like sitting there beforehand, shuffling a paper. She was like, I'm going to decimate this little asshole when he comes in. And then he comes in and she's like, hi, Dr. Jordan Peterson. She's just like got all of her gotcha moments ready, but he's just there to have a conversation.
Yeah.
It like that,
That was the interesting thing, right? Because I think Jordan Peterson, like I don't know anything about Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. And also I'll say this, David and I are talking about a video that came out years years ago. I keep looking at the monitor, not the camera. But David and I are talking about a video that came out years ago. Since then, he's had a lot of controversy. I personally have not kept up with Jordan Peterson in the past 2, 3, 4 years. David obviously clearly hasn't either. We are just, because I know that there's some kind of shit going on with him right now, but I just want to be like, we don't even know. We're just talking about that one video. But let's keep talking about that video because that shit's mad funny.
It was so funny because I just don't expect that from somebody who has like a political platform to come so unprepared. You know what I mean? Also, too, by the way, this is literally what she was doing. It was like, so Jordan Peterson would be like, I don't know, the sky is green. So what you're saying is blue is for racists.
That's exactly what it was like.
And it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Wait, give me like a random line and I see what I answer like her. Like, just give me like a random thing.
Okay. You mean what Jordan Peterson would say? Okay. I believe that men and women are equal.
So what you're saying is that you want to kill.
So what you're saying is that women are only equal to men if men exist and women can suck dick.
Dude, that lady, I think, you know what it was though? It was her coming into it with the overconfident, like she beforehand. And also, I want to say that interview was in like 2016 maybe or 2017.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the height of Me Too and everything. And the pendulum was swinging hard that way. However, you know, as ridiculous as a lot of things that were going on back then were, it is a good thing because the pendulum has to swing like hard left or hard right, like to make a change in something, right? And then eventually it starts to level out. And I do feel like we're starting to like level out from that whole era too.
Yeah, it's this weird idea of, I think we're in this weird space where the idea of somebody having an opposing thought is considered like violence now. Like that's like the hot word. Like, and I was, you know, obviously I'm going through this rabbit hole, right? And I'm watching like all these videos from, you know, people on the political left destroy somebody for the political right. And then I'm watching these and both of them do this thing where they specifically choose the idiots of the other side to debate, which is kind of dumb. Like, you know what I mean?
Sometimes they can't find people that accept it, that will actually do it, that are on the other side.
Like the simple thing of like just having somebody exist that can disagree with you bothers people. And I don't understand what the fucking problem is.
Because a lot of people, so those beliefs they have, they tie their ego and their identity to those beliefs. So when you attack those beliefs, they feel like you're attacking them and they have to defend them at all costs. I'm not saying it's accurate. That's so stupid. I would never tie my identity to a belief because then you're basically saying it's going to make it 8 times harder to change that belief later. And I've changed so many thoughts. Like 5 years ago, I used to hate cats. My fucking tank of a cat. I love that man now. I was literally just scratching his head and shit like that. I love cats now. And 5 years ago, I didn't like animals a long time ago because like I had my own problems and like I didn't, this was such a weird thing. I felt like I was like unlovable and I didn't deserve love. So it bothered me when animals would come to me. So I would reject the animals.
You need another tattoo for that.
Bro, that's what these are all for.
That's
right?
fucking crazy.
But I know some people are like that. I mean, David, I have PTSD. Okay. My brain's like all kinds of
You have any idea how fucking loving animals are? Like that stupid ass dog outside. When I was feeling under the weather, like I couldn't figure out why this dog wouldn't stop cuddling me. And I have like, I get hot. So I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like I'm pushing this dog away. But I think it could sense that I wasn't feeling well. So it kept on sleeping next to me. And I clicked in my head because my dog back at home would always do that. Whenever I was sick, it would always come close to me and snuggle, try to keep me warm. And so that's what that dog was doing. And I was over here, slapping the shit out of it. Like, get the fuck away from me. But it was trying to show me love.
To help you. That's so cute. Yeah. Like now I'm all about receiving love and giving love. All about it. Before I wasn't. But yeah, I love animals now too. But yeah, people don't, that'd be so weird to tie your whole identity to those beliefs. And then.
And I saw this a lot with like, and I think the reason why this stuff started popping up was because I'm pretty sure it was because I was watching all these videos about the Dave Chappelle special and, people saying that he's transphobic and that kind of left to all these like political thoughts. And so that's why all these videos were popping up. But even with like the Dave Chappelle special, it's opened up this huge can of worms where when we're talking about the whole, the trans debate, which I don't even know what the debate is about really when I watched the special. Because everybody's saying that he's transphobic, there's just weird line with comedy and jokes that people are saying like you shouldn't cross. And when it comes to Dave Chappelle, some people are saying
you shouldn't cross.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. So
and and it's like who's sending down that decree? Well, the thing is I didn't watch the Dave Chappelle. Like everyone was talking about the Dave Chappelle special. I haven't watched it. I haven't seen the joke. That's why I haven't made any like comments about it. I think I'm a little nervous too, to be honest, because it could be really bad. I mean, I have a trans woman tattooed on me, you know? Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to feel, but one thing is that like Dave Chappelle is a huge part of my own childhood and my own development. Yeah. When I was growing up, when I was 10 years old, I wasn't allowed to watch South Park or like any of the cool shows, but I was allowed to watch Dave Chappelle because he was Black. And so when I got to school, my mom's super Christian. I couldn't watch all these other shows. I was able to keep up with the jokes. When everyone watched the Chappelle show on Friday and they were making jokes, or Thursday coming in on Friday, I could be joking with them. You know, I know what the episode was. I'm in on everything. And then also, like, I grew up in Southern Virginia. Dave made it cool to be Black. It changed almost like, oh my God, I almost like teared up for a minute. It literally changed almost everything for me in school. And so like, for, you know, a whole bunch of people to like come in and be like, well, you can't support him, you can't like him, you know, because of my trauma. And I'm like, well, what about how that healed part of my trauma? Yeah. And so I feel it's like, we're not going to invalidate our like, you know, our problems with each other. But so I've just kind of like stayed away from it because like, you know, it's a special place for me.
I mean, the biggest thing I think that a lot of people are talking about, and this is something that I really brought up, it's, how do we go ahead and pick and choose which trauma is okay to make fun of, right? Because a lot of comics will talk about them getting their ass beat, fucking being broke as shit, fucking white people beating their ass. Everybody cracks the fuck up, right? But the inclusive part about this, and I think that what a lot of comics are saying along with Dave Chappelle, is like, listen, if I can make fun of these groups and everybody and my group too, I should be able to make fun of you. You're included in this because you're being recognized as a person. Everybody can fucking get it, including you guys. Including my people, including all white people, Mexican people, whatever group that you identify with, everybody can fucking get it in comedy. And the fact that you think that you could exclude yourself because you feel offended, well, you were laughing about me earlier.
Yeah.
So why is it okay now?
Yeah.
So this conversation is very weird. Why do we get to pick and choose which trauma it's okay to make fun of?
Exactly.
Only because it hurts you in the moment that it is now.
Yeah. And it's like everyone's is a little bit different. God, I get so nervous talking about these things because like I feel like they can be taken out of context and they're going to be like, oh, Boze is this or that. Like, you know, someone asked me what I thought about like this whole like blackfishing thing with something else. Well, you know what? It's so interesting because I had another situation where I did feel appropriated by somebody. It wasn't for Black, it was for something else, you know? And I did understand what it felt like for the first time to like feel kind of appropriated. But then on the flip side, when I first heard of like blackfishing, people don't understand your experience if you're a Black woman that grew up around a lot of white people. No one wanted to be me. Nobody wanted my lips. No one wanted my skin. No one wanted anything. And so to see people trying to look like me, it's like, it's not offensive. It's actually almost flattering to my childhood brain. And I can't do anything about it, you know? And so it's like, you should be mad about this. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to be neutral about it because actually I never experienced this before where somebody wanted to look like with me. Like people, I used to hate my lips. I still remember like a journal entry I wrote of just how sad I was about how big my fucking lips were.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did people make comments about you?
Always.
Was it women or guys?
Oh, it was everyone. They would just
guys look at girls' lips and be like,
no, they would
that girl could suck some dick.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but that was the thing too. The white boys, they would say I had DSLs, always DSLs.
Okay,
and like, that's like not, you know, that's like not cool. Even
yeah.
It's weird. So I don't know. I have a weird, I just wish that
but
people.
You know, how people feel about things, they can't dictate how you take whatever happens to you in your life. And that's the weird thing. They go, oh, you should be offended, but I'm not. So what the fuck are you going to do about it? You're going to make me offended?
Yeah, or I have to forget my trauma or my healing or my things for yours. I can't, like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, then how about we both just put our guns down and walk away? And that's what I do. And it's so weird because these people want to fight for it, but then I'm like, well, I don't know. I guess I minimize my own things, but those, you know, Dave made it cool to be Black, and seeing people that want to look like a Black woman is like new to me. I'm like, whoa! It's more like it does something to like my child brain, like my inner child that's still there, and I can't explain it.
Like how like that beauty standard constantly shifts, right? And I think like when people get so hunkered down on what beauty is now, it's like you might regret that 10 years from now because that might not be the standard.
Yes, exactly. And I was actually saying this the other day. When you follow a meta, like no matter how popular it is, if it's like something that's permanent, whether a video you put online or some surgery that you alter yourself with, like, you know how every girl got the Ariana Grande face like 4 years ago, and now they're trying to keep it up and they're looking all crazy, David. They looking all crazy. Like people getting like hella fillers at like 24 and then they got to keep it up and their skin's shifting and they go to different surgeons. They're like not always good. Oh my God, bro. How are you going to reverse that?
You can't. I mean, like, I see it now, right? So there are women who are friends of mine who are very fucking beautiful. They've always been beautiful. Even as they get older, they're still beautiful. But they're trying to hold on to something that you cannot hold on to, which is time and age. Those things it progresses and it slips from you. That's all that it is. And you're beautiful in a different type of way.
Yes.
So it's like, when I see this happen, right? And I saw it recently with somebody who I haven't seen on Instagram in a very long time. And she's, to me, like, just from a physical aspect, I think she's like ideally just very what everybody wants in a girl in terms of looks wise, right? But she's getting a little older, and I didn't see any age in her, but she felt like it was. And then lo and behold, filler, lips are huge now. And I'm like, what happened? Like, why did you do this?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like this beauty standard that she feels that she has to keep up with, right? Because this is what I'm worth. Like, this is what people value. This is how I value myself.
Or feeling like, well, but also to be fair, some people just like the look. Like, I have a friend that her lips just keep getting bigger and she's like, I love it. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, I get that though too.
My lovely brain farts, before we continue, this podcast once again is brought to you by 4 Sigmatic. If you don't know what 4 Sigmatic, let me tell you something. 4 Sigmatic's mushroom coffee is fucking amazing. It's a coffee. It's real, organic, fair trade, single origin Arabica coffee with lion's mane mushroom for productivity and chaga mushroom for immune support. I have been starting my day with 4 Sigmatic. If it's not matcha, it's going to be 4 Sigmatic. It tastes good, and on top of that, the lion's mane makes my brain super snappy and smart. I'm telling you, the way that I feel when I drink this stuff is fantastic. It's almost hard to go without it. I do it cold brew style. I just steep it overnight, and the next morning I'm ready to go. I add a little bit of almond milk, maybe some oat milk to it, because your boy lactose, he be farting. Listen, we've worked out an exclusive offer with 4 Sigmatic on their best-selling mushroom coffee, but this is just for Genius Brain listeners. Get up to 40% off plus free shipping on mushroom coffee bundles. To claim this deal, you must go to 4sigmatic.com/braingenius. This offer is only for Genius Brain listeners and is not available on their regular website. You'll save up to 40% and get free shipping, so go right now to 4sigmatic, that's FOURSIGMATIC.com/braingenius and fuel your productivity and creativity with some delicious mushroom coffee.
But I think you're absolutely right. The beauty is like different at different ages. This is my favorite age. Like, I literally feel like hotter than ever. Like, I'm having the most fucking fun. I've been going to the gym. I've been getting my legs like big as shit, bro. I've been working out my abs. Bro, David, they should have never gave me blonde hair. It was over after that. They should have said, no, we can't give it to her. Dude, bro, I don't know if you noticed, but I literally got this hair and then I got my little gold septum ring. I started getting my tattoos. I started going to the gym. But you know what it was? It was part of me. I was like, I want to feel more confident in my appearance. And I just picked out everything that I didn't really like. And I was like, I'm going to fix this, and this. And I feel great.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like a certain level of like, you know what you like and you can change these things that you don't like about yourself, which is pretty awesome, right? And I think that sometimes too, like when I talk about this, like, you know, cosmetic surgery thing, the argument behind that is like, it's my body. I could do whatever I want. 100%. No, I'm not saying you can't, right? Mm-hmm. I just have a thought about it. Like, I think about myself as, because I'm a man, and if I have a daughter, what does it do to my daughter's future in terms of how she views herself and what beauty is, right?
Yeah.
Because when and I think this is an issue that happens in big cities. If you go to, I'm pretty sure when you go back home or whatever, you don't see people with mega fucking shit done to their face. But in these metropolitan cities, you do. And people think that LA, New York, Chicago, whatever, this is how the rest of the world thinks. But it's really not the case. When I go back home to Sacramento, everybody looks a little different. And it's fucking amazing to me because it's beautiful. Like, you get to see different faces. And those different faces is kind of what makes people beautiful. Like, you don't look like every other person walking down the street. Mm-hmm. And so we went from a shift of like, appreciate what God has given you, or whatever, if you don't believe in God, or what you're born with and you're beautiful just the way that you are, to versus like, hey, I'm fucking ugly. I got to look like everybody else. And if I got the money for it, you shut the fuck up and let me do what I want. You know, I'm like, oh, I don't know what that shift happened.
I have found though, there are so many ways to be attractive. When we were growing up, it was really just like, what does their face look like, right? Well, like, confidence is super sexy. Like, as you get older, like, people start to build up their businesses and their like world and their jobs and stuff. And it's like, even people that don't like feel like they look attractive on the outside, you start to see it in their posture and the way they carry themselves and the way they keep eye contact. Like, that confidence is super hot. Or I've noticed that like people that dress really well. I was seeing this guy a while ago who like He's like a little bit older, but oh my God, he could fucking dress. Like he had like gold jewelry on and shit like that. I was like, this is fucking hot.
This girl's so simple. She goes, he had gold. I'm like, he was a pharaoh.
No, yeah. And he smelled good as hell. I loved that shit. Or like, you know what, like a good haircut. Or maybe it is the face. Maybe it's the fillers. Maybe it's the tattoo. Like there's so many ways I feel like to be attractive. Or just go to the gym a couple times a week. Like your face could look like anything. And you could just give yourself a hot body. Like I
feel like girls are a lot more forgiving in terms of like the physical looks realm than a lot of like some of these guys are.
No, a lot of the guys are not trying.
And I'll say this too, just because I always see a bunch of like dudes that are probably some of the most ugly fucking ogres I've ever seen in my life, but they'll see a fine ass girl walk by and they're like, you don't know what I'd do with that. It's like, you've never been offered that. The fuck are you talking about, you fucking gremlin? Like, you know? But that's like, guys aren't as forgiving as women are, because women can look at a dude and see value in other things, right? Whether it's a job, whether it's a career, whether it's confidence, how they speak to you, you know, the way they can evoke an emotion out of you can really change the perception of what attractiveness is. For a guy, I think when you're young, like younger men, it's just looks. That's the first thing that grabs them. Yeah. And that's the thing that matters the most. I'm not saying that's how it is for all guys, but when I was younger, I was definitely like that. And I too was an ogre. And what I expected out of the girl that I wanted to be with, I didn't expect out of myself. You know, and I think that's like a young guy thing. I don't know what the fuck that is, but girls have always been way more forgiving.
I get that. I've had, dude, wait, last time I was here, did we talk about like, I'm not dating anymore?
At all?
No.
For real?
No.
Why?
No. Well, I was in a 4-year relationship. I was in a relationship the entire time I was out here in LA. Like,
for real?
Oh yeah. Like I moved out here and within 6 months I got, I started dating. And I'm the type of person where like, if I date you, we get married. Like we ain't wasting no time. Like I'm not planning to just date for 2 years. Like we gonna bond, we gonna move in together, we gonna have babies, So like this was like,
bitch.
Bro, this was
she really does live that tattoo life. Like, yo, bitch, when we get together, we finna get married.
Hey, me and the mom, hey, you wanna get married?
Yeah. Yo, whip that dick out, put it in my mouth. Let's see what's up.
Put it in there, pull it out, buddy.
Yeah. Hurry up, come, hurry up.
I'm just going like this the whole time. Like, what is she doing? I don't know, she's kind of hot though. But yeah, so I got wiped up real fast. We dated for 4 years. And he was, it was for the most part like a pretty good boyfriend, but we obviously had our things, but what I mostly realized was I was growing into his lifestyle, like Beverly Hills, like housewife. Like I was always getting jobs that were only in Beverly Hills. I was like trying to look a certain way for his family. I never got tattoos because of that. Like they said that like the graveyard that their family's buried in, you can't have tattoos and stuff. And so like I didn't want to get piercings because I didn't know how his parents would feel. Clearly, this is what I want to look like, right? Mm-hmm. So and amongst a lot of other things, I was working corporate because I felt like his family respected me more if I did that. I was growing into a life that was not mine. And so I broke up with him and I just said I like didn't want to date anymore. I wanted to like go off and do my thing and build myself up and become more individualistic. And then, maybe when I'm in my like mid 30s, I'll settle down with somebody. Because when I'm about to date, like we in this for the long run. But I'm gonna be single for a couple years. So I've just been like.
So what do you mean by dating though? Like seriously looking for a relationship, or do you mean can you just like date for fun?
Like seeing people or hooking up?
Yeah.
Well, actually, this is really funny. I get buried in work a lot. So like I'll go months without like hooking up with somebody or something like that. Yeah. Like literally months. Like 5, 6. I don't even like think about it or anything. But like I'm very demisexual. I have to at least kind of like somebody. Like I don't need to like have a full on crush on you, but I need to like you as a person. I would like to be biologically attracted to. I said biologically. Like I need it. I don't know why I said that. Jesus.
I need to be biologically attracted to you.
I need to want to mate with you on a biological level.
I just figured you with the electric temp thing and just temperaturing his balls. Let me see the heat of these things.
I was just doing like a pheromone test. I call him. Your results came back positive. You can come on over at 11 o'clock tonight. Like,
my
Jesus
God.
fucking Christ.
How fucking hot. You may come over at 11 o'clock and fuck thee. My word, Boze.
He's probably over here like, you gonna send any pictures or nothing? No.
Absolutely not.
Bro, that's the thing too. Yeah, I don't. That's why I'm boring too, because like I'm not gonna send nobody no pictures, do nothing. I just don't. I don't.
We're in that technological stage. You start sending out tit pics, you're fucking. You know where it's going.
Well, yeah, and also like I feel like just because I do online stuff, like hooking up with people randomly is a lot more high risk for me. It's like some guys, and like this is fucking true. Some dudes will do weird shit, like have sex with you and record you. Like it's true. Like it happened.
Yeah.
Like especially if they know that you're like that. You never fucking know. Like people really do weird shit, or you know they want to prove to their friends that they're really talking to you. So then they'll send your pictures or something. And I've seen it happen to my friends. My friends have gotten. I have a friend that's gotten recorded before, like 2 years ago. And there's then
like set up a camera somewhere and then record it. That's fucking crazy, dude.
And it just came out as like she didn't talk to the person for like a year and some change. I'm like, what? I should talk about it. I think. She didn't talk about it for like a year and some change, and then like it was like they came out of nowhere like with just like some threats basically. I don't want to give anybody any ideas. Maybe we should cut all this.
No, that happens a lot. There was like a Korean pop star too, and she was like American girl. She was underage, and then her ex-boyfriend after she became a huge K-pop star. Fucking released these photos of her naked, but she's like 16, so she's underage at the time.
Dude,
so it's like, yo, what the fuck is this guy doing?
You
and then
never know.
There was like a text thread about him trying to sell it to like certain like publications, like how much can I get for this? You know, blah 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 blah. Like I have these photos,
God.
And then people, they screen recorded or a Snapchat. And he sent it out because this person, thank God, was like, hey, if you put this out, you can be in some big trouble. Like you shouldn't do this stuff. He goes, yeah, but if I get a lot of money, it'll be worth it type of thing. But he's like, no, you're going to get in trouble because she was underage. Those pictures of her when she was like 16 years old and it's her fully naked. It's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Well, him trying to sell that, it's like, hello, possession of child pornography? Are you like, what the, like, yeah, we're both like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's really weird. That's why I'm just like scared of stuff like that. So I'm very cautious, but if I do like date or hook up with somebody or something, it's usually somebody that I've been talking to for a long time. We have a basis of like a friendship or something. And like, I don't know, like, it's just, I really don't like
dating
that
is a lot of work though.
It's so much.
A lot of people don't understand that like dating is fucking work.
And I do not, but that's the thing. I don't want to grow into anybody's life right now. I need to be myself and be fully individualistic. And then I will come together with somebody when the time is right. Because the person I am right now and the person I'm going to be in 5 years are two totally different people. So how could I possibly settle down with somebody right now at 29? The other thing is, I think I might have talked to you about this before. I think the thing that teaches you the most about yourself are relationships. Relationships are what push us further into ourselves. There's nothing that has taught me more than a relationship. The breakup from the beginning to the end, And so it's like, if you're with the same person for like 20, 30, 40 years, you guys have to keep going through trials and tribulations to feel that growth. Humans have to feel growth. We have to feel like we're progressing. And so you're just going to have to be be going through shit with your partner constantly every couple of years to feel that. Whereas if you're kind of like dating and then on your own and then dating and on your own, you're going to have so many experiences. Like, that's definitely happened to me. Like my ex and I broke up like almost a year ago, and I've kind of like loosely like dated 2 people, and I've learned so much about myself just from those months or 2 of like hanging out with them. It's insane.
Well, yeah, that's what dating does. Like,
yeah. And I need more of those experiences because I need to know who I am.
A lot of young people too. Like I always tell people not to get caught up and just think that the first person that you're with is going to be the person you're going to be with for the rest of your life, because you don't know if that person wants to grow with you. You don't know if they're going to grow to be different people. And on top of that too, like even when I first met Mariel, when we were first dating and before we actually decided to be a couple and be together, she was like very apprehensive about it. And the thing that I told her off the jump, because I got kind of tired of her not like this, like committing. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I was like, listen, like, I think you have something very confused. I'm not dating you to find out if I'm good for you. I'm trying to date you to see if you're good for me. Like, I don't know you enough yet to worry about you. I'm worrying about myself right now. So if you think that you could just have me here and just wait for you, that's not going to happen. And so that's the thing that I want people to understand. Like, I've learned more about myself than I have about her.
Yeah.
Like, everything that I've learned through myself in the last 6 or 7 years was because of the relationship that we were in. And
yes.
And listen, she and I talked about on the podcast, we almost separated for real, like in the last year. It was like, we're done. We're not going to do this anymore. But it took that And a lot of, for us to separate and be, reflect on this, for us to come back together and be a little stronger. But these are all growing pains. Like if you're not willing to do that, I don't know any single like strong relationship that hasn't gone through that. I don't know a single one. I don't know a single one where people didn't have these like breakthrough moments constantly.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people like in social media, they don't talk about this shit. We know people who are very good at posting their photos of like, listen, we're fucking amazing. Oh
my God, dude.
We know the dirt.
Look, breaking news to all of you. If they're posting pictures, half the time, it ain't real, bro. I feel like a lot of times couples tend to post pictures almost at the most vulnerable points, like when they're trying to like tell their partner like, ooh, I care. Look, I did the thing. You know what I mean? Or like, oh my God, it's so funny because I'm on Twitch a lot, so you probably don't see this too often. So many streamers date each other, and then the typical, statement comes out, blah, 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 and I've decided to split amicably. We still have so much love for each other, but we've decided to lay everything to rest after 3 years. Come on, y'all fucking hate each other.
You hate each other.
You hate each other. We still love each other dearly. I mean, like, granted, what else are they supposed to do? Drag the public into their drama? But still, like, I kind of hate that it's teaching people. Society taught us a lot of things about love and relationships that were not true. And we are now doing that to everyone else. We're creating this new fabrication almost. And like saying, oh yeah, you can break up with somebody after 2, 3, 4 years and have love for them and move on amicably. That's what we say publicly. But that's what some of those people say in their little twit longers and shit like that. And then you're teaching younger people that like, oh, after your 4-year breakup, you and your ex are still going to be best friends. And then when that doesn't happen to them, they're going to be confused. And so now we're the ones painting society for them that's not entirely correct.
Every person that I've broken up with, if they died, I would not know. I literally wouldn't fucking know. Because here's the thing. This is what I believe anyway. See, I understand that you guys grew together, but there's a reason why you guys split. You don't have to be friends. Because if I'm not a part of your life will still go on.
Yep.
Nothing bad happens of me not being in there. You're fine. Yeah. So I'm fine. It also makes it just too more complicated in my new relationship where I have to explain why this person who my penis has been in her mouth repeatedly is still around here.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you date somebody else. What is it? People say something, oh, if they're not friends with their exes, that's a red flag. Actually,
it's the other way around.
Yeah, if you're friends with all of your exes still, those are the sociopathic motherfuckers that are just keeping a whole bunch of people on a string.
Attachment issues. Dude,
yeah. Who the fuck, like people saying if you're not friends with your ex anymore, red flag, that shit is cringe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Guys. And I'm actually, my ex of 4 years, still a friend of mine. We went to the gym a couple weeks ago. Like he's actually is a homie, but it's because we kind of split for different reasons. We didn't split for fighting and shit like that. We just grew apart, Yeah. So stuff like that, sure, you might be friends, but like so many people end up leaving toxic relationships and they try to be friends afterward. Cut that motherfucker off.
I'm okay off that shit, dude. I'm 100% okay.
101.
And listen, if you dump me, well, we're definitely not friends.
Bro, I almost said 101p. that is so stupid. And I'm gonna start saying it now.
I've definitely, every girl that I've either broken up with or the girl that has left me, we're done.
We're done.
I don't hate you.
You know what?
I just don't need you.
My therapist told me something that was really interesting. I was telling her, this was like a couple months ago. Actually, also, I'm on hiatus from therapy right now. I didn't even know that was a goal that people should have. Like being so happy that your therapist is like, do you really need me right now? I'm like, well, Michelle, I'll come back in a couple weeks. I haven't been back for a while. I've been fucking chilling.
Yeah.
But I was this was like a few months ago and I was talking about a person that I had met and I was talking about the confusing feelings I had towards a lot of things. And she asked me, do you see this person being a short-term person in your life or a long-term? And I was like, I never thought of that before because when anyone enters my life and I like them, I just start to assume long-term. I just do. But when I looked at this person, I was like, this is a short-term person, but there's, something fun here. And I've started looking at that with a lot of things. And then I also realized that your actions can dictate whether your relationship with that person is short-term or long-term. And like, that's become a very powerful tool for me to evaluate lately.
I was just talking about this on the previous podcast, and some people didn't understand what I was talking about when I was saying that there's different levels of friendships and connections. There's acquaintances, there's long-term acquaintances, there's homies, there's the homies, and then there's friends. All different categories. It doesn't mean there's nothing, I don't mean anything by it. It just is what it is. I think a lot of the times people take these relationships and they all categorize them in one thing.
Yeah.
And it causes them to get hurt by other people's actions. Like I always say too, I think girls tend to do this a lot, is where they fuck on the first date. They meet a girl, they connect with them, and they go, besties. And I'm like, bitch, Don't do that.
That and the ones that spark up the fastest are the ones that fizzle out the fastest.
100%.
10,000 101p.
101p, bitch. 101p, motherfucker. Yeah. Like
that is the dumbest phrase.
101p, bitch. You'll see it happen, right? They always go, "Oh my, I can't believe that she did this to me." What do you mean you don't know her?
Yeah, y'all just met a month ago. We were so close. We hung out every night. Yeah, y'all knew that shit was going. Yeah, and then also a lot of people trauma bond very quickly in the beginning, and they don't realize that. You know,
trauma bonding is the fucking worst because once you guys figure that shit out, you guys have nothing left.
Yeah.
Like, what's your shit? You're just going to meet up and just talk about the trauma 24/7?
Oh, yeah, dude.
You guys share nothing in common.
And that, I've had to consciously break some trauma bonds that I've shared with some people, Like, it's really weird. And, like, you guys that, like, people, like, listening that are... Trauma bonding is really, like, hard to explain. But it's, like, basically, if one of your trauma, like, triggers is activated, like, let's say abandonment or something like that. Like, let's say that you're with a friend or I don't know how to explain it. One of yours is abandonment, and then the other friend that you're talking to is also abandonment. And you guys kind of have that same trigger activated at the same time. And you're in that mental place, and then you talk about it, you are now trauma bonding. Like, it's almost like your inner child are like connecting, and it's very powerful, and it can make things feel familiar. I was talking about this the other day. Sometimes you meet people that feel familiar and comfortable, but it doesn't mean it's a good thing. It could be, they could remind you of the person that hurt you the most. And like, you could be like, oh, maybe I can redo this. Maybe I can redo this trauma, and maybe they won't leave me this time. And then, but what you're doing is connecting with a person that's very similar to the person from 10 years ago that hurt you. And you're seeing those same traits, but you're not connecting it and realizing it. And then that person leaves, and it's like a fucking domino effect. It just like cuts you down, dude. I've been trying to watch out lately for familiar people to figure out if you're familiar good or familiar bad.
100%. And so a few months back, like, I met up with a couple of people. This is kind of so funny that you mentioned this. There's like certain things that's happened to me when I was younger that it was during a time I didn't like who I was, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like I grew up in a precarious neighborhood. The neighborhood more where my house was fine, but where I was kicking at wasn't that great. And these people were people that I was always pretending to be something that I wasn't, right? A lot of like thuggery shit, a lot of bad people, right? And I wanted to be a part of this group. I felt safe. I felt very protected, but at the same time, super fucking uncomfortable. Like I told a story on the podcast where I remember the first time these group of people, there were a very specific set in Sacramento that they were a part of. I was invited to a house party, and this place is fucking dirty as hell. I can still remember what the place smelled like. Like, there's just like spit on the floor, drinks everywhere, a bunch of fucking dirty ass looking bitches and dudes.
Okay.
Like just fucking chilling. And I'm sitting here I look like a fish out of water, but I'm trying to like, what's up, cut? Like, I'm trying to be all,
hey.
I'm trying to be all hard and shit. But I told the story on the podcast where there was this dude at the party. He had these white Air Force Ones on.
You getting nervous?
I am nervous. I have white Air Force Ones on, and this dude spit on the floor, and this guy spit on his shoes. And I knew this guy, right? And he looked at him, and he goes, "Clean my fucking shoes." And, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm sitting in this dirty, smelly ass fucking cigarette smelling couch, just sitting here like, oh, what the fuck is going on? But I'm trying to keep my cool, right? He goes, "Clean my fucking shoe." He goes, "I'm not cleaning your fucking shoe." Dude literally stands up, strapped up, like 20 dudes around him, all strapped up. And they stare at the guy. And I'm like, I'm about to witness a fucking murder. Right? And I'm sitting here just
not unless he cleans some shoes.
Yeah. And then the guy fucking got on his knees, got a napkin, started cleaning his shoes. Told him to get the fuck out. And then I just sat there and a little pee. Pee started coming down the side of my leg.
A cinematic cut to just David's thigh and just one single drip. Like,
yeah, dude. But I'm still trying to be hard. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But in real life, I'm like, oh shit.
Get them laces.
Yeah.
Get that spot.
Yeah, fucking hold my pockets, bitch.
Oh my that is so
But
funny,
like
dude.
those, so I hung out with a group of people, once again, that reminded me of that. You know what I mean? But we're talking and we're chopping about all this other stuff. And we have like past stuff that kind of connects us, right?
Yeah.
Just the shit that we used to do, things that we used to hang out. But then as I'm talking to this person, I'm starting to feel really fucking uncomfortable. And I'm like, I don't like this feeling. Like, what is this? Like, feels familiar, but it feels familiar in a bad way.
Ooh, okay.
And I started getting like PTSD. I started sweating a little bit. And I'm like, oh, And these guys are starting to like me. You know, I'm like, I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah. I'm scared I'm getting tangled up into something. And like, if I try to ghost them, they're going to be like, where David at?
Yeah, exactly. All these thoughts are going through my fucking head. Yeah. And I'm like, why am I here? Like, why am I connecting to these dudes? Why am I having a quote unquote good conversation with these people when these are not the people that I want to associate with?
Yeah.
And I reminded myself of when I was like 15 years old. I felt like a 15-year-old again. It was really fucking
How long
weird.
ago was this?
This was like maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
What?
Right. And I'm over here, and then you kind of like hear the way that I speak start to change a little bit, like how I used to speak when I was in high school. Right. I'm like, it was good, man. You know, also the like hood shit, you know? And I'm like, I don't even like talking like this anymore.
Yeah.
What am I doing? And I'm adapting to these people because of that weird familiarity.
Yeah, and you feel like you're going back because it's easy for you to sink into, but you have to make a conscious choice not to go back into what's easy for you, right?
And that shit was traumatizing as fuck.
That's scary. That was so recent too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can we talk about Alec Baldwin?
Oh yes. What?
What?
The fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, do you want to go first or me?
You can go first.
What the fuck? Dude, okay, in all seriousness, so, okay, like on a lot of the stuff that I do on my channel is actually really trauma related. I do a lot of trauma work. And so when I was thinking about this, I also do a lot of drama where I try to get into the emotional state of things like victims, like things like that. And the first thing I thought about was, okay, David, imagine you're at home, you have wife and kid, you know, whatever, your kids at home, you know, you're there, you're chilling, your wife's at work, the safest place she could be. And you get a call and they're like, your wife has passed, like your wife. It's just like, what? And like, before you even have time to like let that sink in, and they're like, she was shot. What? She's at work. Like, that's like the next level of it. And then afterwards, you get told that it's by a famous actor and it was an accident. It's almost like it invalidates all of the shock and pain that you just like society's telling you that you have to minimize that because it was an accident and it was this, you know, this guy. They went out to lunch breakfast the next morning with Alec Baldwin. And I get it, but it's like, my God. And then like from Alec Baldwin's point of view, and I mean like sympathy all around. Can you imagine just being on set? This is how fucking fast it happened. The prop master literally handed it to him, said cold gun. Alex fucking points it, shoots it, and like I don't know exactly like what, but like he shot it into a house where there were 2 other people. He just like shot it, and all of a sudden somebody's dead, and he's now a murderer by classification. Like, you just went from actor to murderer, whether it's manslaughter, accident, you know, anything like that. That's another thing, too. He's going to have the best attorneys in the world, but it's manslaughter. It still is. Everybody on that set is getting fucking sued.
What? I heard the person who was dealing with the weaponry was somebody who was super inexperienced.
So
the way 24 years old or something.
Possibly. The way that it works in LA is back in the day, the prop master handled everything. But then there was this mandate that came on that said that you have to have a prop master and then an armorer that it's under them that handles all like the guns and stuff. So what had happened was like some of the people on set were doing some kind of test firing, little just practice shooting with live rounds. And so that got mixed up in there. And they say on set, they yelled to Alec Baldwin, cold prop, before it went into his hand. And so, God, can you imagine the shock, David? Can you imagine the shock of firing off the gun and realizing that you just killed somebody and everyone around you is panicking and freaking out and you're just like...
Well, that's, first of all... That's so fucking ridiculous in the first place that even if it's a prop gun, right? The fact that they have live rounds there, it should never fucking be on set.
Like, right.
Why the fuck is there a live round on set?
That's wild to me. Yeah, they said they were doing target practice or something.
For what?
Right? And they're supposed to have, so for like film and TV, there's supposed to be 3 different types of like fake bullets, different velocities that create different effects. But yeah, they had live rounds on set, and I can't believe that one hit. How did you feel when you heard about it?
Well, listen, this is a big conversation that opens up about like set etiquette and how people are treated, right? So if you guys have never been on film or if you haven't been on film sets, you know, it tends to be kind of harsh, specifically to people who are PAs and a lot of like staff and crew. When it comes to film, it tends to be a little harsh, right? Yeah. It's very high tense situations. You know, people are on a budget. Everybody's getting yelled at. People are on the go. Well, a lot of stuff is coming to light. Like, wait, hold on a second. We shouldn't be treating people like this, right? And the crazy thing is what people don't understand, America is a lot nicer than it is out in other countries. Like in Asia specifically, like Jackie Chan doesn't even like filming in America because Americans have laws about people having lunch, time of rest, and all this other shit. Because in China, it's like, you do
all
this
day
until your fucking feet fall off.
All day, like 14, 15-hour days. It's insane. Yeah.
So Jackie Chan, because Jackie Chan is who Jackie Chan, I'm not saying I love Jackie Chan. I'm just saying like he likes, because he's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
If he's doing like a stunt work, if that person has to do it 86 times, that person's going to do it 86 times until we get this perfect shot. And the culture is different out there. In the States, they don't have that. It's like, listen, now you're being abusive. So knowing that even that in this country, we're supposed to be nicer, that people still don't have like a certain level of like decency and standard of work when it comes to sets. Like one of those shows that I loved working on was That Leftover show, the Netflix food show. And the biggest reason why was because of how staff and crew were treated. Everybody was so respectful and nice, and everybody felt heard. It was super fucking dope to work with that company.
Yeah.
But I have been on film sets where I've worked as a PA and people talk to me like I was a piece of shit. Like they would fucking scream at me. They would yell at me. And this is like my first day as a PA. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm fresh. And people are supposed to show you the ropes, but they'll call you stupid. They call you dumb, lazy, tell you to hurry the fuck up. It's like, is this just how it's supposed to be? And because I thought that's how it's supposed to be, I just took that shit. I'm like, I got to pay my fucking dues. Well, now we get to see what happens when people aren't doing their fucking job right. People aren't getting paid correctly. They're not taking the right safety precautions. Somebody can fucking die. And now what?
Yep.
And now what? Like,
oh my God, dude. And I think also like in LA, a lot of people that are working like as a PA or maybe the person's armor, I'm not sure. A lot of people in the more entry-level jobs on set, they don't want to do that job. They're trying to build up to the next thing. And like they kind of just come in, they're getting paid union for like, $300 a day. Actually, they had a lot of people on set that were non-union.
Yeah,
I think because it was cheaper.
Up.
Is it because it's cheaper?
Yes.
Dude. Yeah, so they said they were cutting corners on that set. I mean, oh my God.
For a lot of indie films, people do have to cut corners. Like if it's an indie film, it's a fucking film with Alec fucking Baldwin, dude.
I know, dude. Oh my God, that whole scenario made me so sick. Did it make you guys sick? I need to know. I'm sorry. I'm always talking to people, David.
People, it's weird, right? Like, I don't understand why the fuck they were alive. I just can't wrap my head around that part. Who the fuck was the one that was like, hey, let's do fucking some target practice with this real gun here and let's just do it. Why? Like,
but I think the other thing that fucks me up about it too is like, how old is Alec Baldwin? Like what? Like 60, 50, something
I think he's like fucking 467 years old.
Yeah. Let's say he's 60 or something like that, right? Now imagine you've lived this long life, you've had scandals, you had people hating on you, but you're still an actor, you're still doing your thing. You're still Alec Baldwin. And now this is just changed. I don't even know what I would do. I think I would just crumble. Like, I don't know how I could. I don't know. That one would just stress me.
I don't know if I could live with the fact that I killed somebody.
I don't think so. I don't think I could.
That would be.
I do not know how I would. The survivor's guilt too.
Extensive therapy for me because I don't know how I would deal with that, especially someone who was innocent, somebody who and they died because of me, because of something stupid that I did.
Yeah.
Right. Or even if it was somebody else's fault, right?
It's a collaborative thing, but like he's going to blame himself like entirely for sure. Like and that stuff fucks you up forever. I have a friend. It was my old roommate from when I was like 18 and I lived in Virginia. He was the coolest guy in high school. He was the coolest. Everyone liked him, like super fun, super funny. And I loved this guy to death. But we kind of like disconnected like over 10 years ago. And earlier this year, we reconnected. And at first, there was that familiarity because this is somebody that I lived with for like over a year. We worked together. We worked the morning and night shift together. He was like one of my really closest friends. And we reconnected and we spent like 2 weeks together and he was not the same person anymore. He had completely changed because 5 or 6 years ago, his best friend had died. And he's like told me before, like he talks about this stuff all the time because he doesn't know what to do, His best friend died and he was there when it happened. He actually pulled him out of the water and he was the one that said, let's go swimming. And he's never gotten therapy for that situation. I've been trying to get homeboy to get into therapy for fucking years. But like those 6 years have absolutely destroyed him. Like every time it comes up on June, I mean, he just like curls up into a ball, basically. Completely different person. I mean, and so like that's what I'm saying with this Alec Baldwin thing. And we're going to see this in the media, like over the next 5 years, kind of how
they're
this
not going to let him live it down. I think there was like a lot of people too who I think he posted a lot of like anti-gun like rhetoric and tweet. So, you know, people from like the hard political right are ripping this fool a new one. It's like, fuck, man, this guy is going to have to live with this trauma, man.
That one is fucking, that is heavy. A lot of fucked up shit going on in the world, man. And me doing all this true crime stuff, I've been learning a little too much.
I don't even know how you do all this true crime stuff. Because I was going to ask you about that YouTuber girl who was like a van life girl.
Well, there's a lot of different parts around it. I specifically didn't cover that case because of how much social media fucked it up. So here, I'll tell you this. This is a really interesting thing, David. So the guy, Brian Laundrie, that, you know, allegedly killed her. There's no confirmation. They're saying his remains are found now, blah, 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 blah. Who knows if it's really his remains? But there was a woman that after he allegedly committed the murder of Gabby Petitto, a woman that had a TikTok happened to see Brian Laundrie and just think he looked like a nice, upstanding citizen that we get very... Never mind. Tends to think he's like a nice, upstanding citizen. She gives him a ride somewhere and drops him off. And then the girl afterwards, when she realizes that she picked up a possible murderer, the first thing she does is she goes on TikTok and she starts making TikToks about how she picked him up and what he did and how much money he had and what he was wearing and where she picked him up and where she dropped him off. And then she started saying, donate to the fund, the Help Find Gabby fund, donate to this. And she keeps posting all these TikToks about it. Go to the police. Go to the FBI. Why did you make a video about this? And you know she didn't go to the police because they would have told her it was illegal to go put this information online. I was so mad about this video because I'm like, you single-handedly just delivered all of this information to his defense team and you just fucked them. Like, why would you do this? And that's what like everyone was doing online. They were digging up like her like social media posts, his posts, things like that. And I'm like, if I was his defense attorney, I would pay some kid $20 an hour and I'd be like, run through everything online and figure out what we can use in our case. Find out everything that they know. And that's what social media fuck that whole case up. But if Brian's really dead, you know, I got very passionate about that.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Can you believe that? She put it on TikTok. I have to like get away from the mic because I'm so fucking mad about that. And like the exploitive nature that people had about that case is absolutely fucking disgusting. That one made me so fucking mad. And then, you know, another thing too that people really got wrong is people started to shit on like Gabby Petitto by saying, oh, missing white woman syndrome. What about these people? What about all these missing people? Blah, 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 blah. Well, actually, I'm going to actually like defend that for a second. It's not really missing white woman syndrome. It's that people feel that emotional pull towards someone that looks like they could have been their friend. And because there are just so many white people that are like seeing this young girl, they're like, oh, and it's like everyone has met somebody that looks like Gabby before. Everybody. This is why she appealed to them. She looks like a girl you'd be sitting next to in school. And so when you find out she's missing and all this, it's like, oh my God, I could have known her. Whereas unfortunately, for some reason, when somebody sees somebody like me, they don't know where they would have seen me, so they don't connect with me as much. And then they just kind of skip over my case. And it not saying
also,
it's right.
She's a lightweight celebrity. Like she was a YouTube van life person. She had a following. So that's why.
Did she?
Yeah. So
I don't think she did.
I think she was. Like I think she was.
I think the media put that in headlines because it sounded good.
She wasn't that big of a following.
I have not found any record of her having any type of YouTube channel.
Oh, I thought she was like a van life girl.
People, like the media put her up as a van life YouTuber, but I couldn't find anything of her stuff. Yeah,
I got interested because I used to follow this girl who was also a YouTube. I love van life shit.
Me too. Did you watch Janelle?
So there was a girl who was a YouTube van life girl who I followed for a long time, and she hadn't posted videos in a while. And I was like, what happened to this girl? And she fucking killed herself. Yeah, she committed suicide.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So like, I was like, oh,
how did you find out?
I found out because I was looking up her name, and it was a while ago now. I feel sad. I used to watch her all the time. I can't remember her name. I'm blanking out right now. I was a little sick a couple weeks ago, so my brain's a little foggy. But she ended up committing suicide. And so I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? When they said she was a van life person too, I'm like, is there something that people are escaping from that they have to do this van life stuff?
Well, yeah, I don't know what the van. I mean, I get it because like if someone just handed me a converted van, no, if somebody drove it for me, maybe. But like, I get it because it's cool. It's just sick, like the way like everything's compartmentalized. Like, you watched it for a while, like you get it.
I love it. Well,
yeah.
I had a Honda Element and I love that fucking car, right? And I wanted to convert it or whatever, but that car was a piece of shit. It was just too much work to fix it up. Mm-hmm. But I like it because I like being off the grid. Originally, this podcast, I wanted to build a huge van and make it a mobile podcast.
That's cool.
But then I kind of gathered how much it was going to cost. It was a lot of money. I was like, this is a shit ton of fucking money. It wasn't worth it, So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But I love like the whole van life thing, how you can live off the grid. People, the way they build their shit is fucking.
Yeah. I think also the kind of the appeal of the whole van life YouTube thing is I'm living my best life. I'm having so much fun. Look at this. Look at it, blah, 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 and like that shit feels good. Yeah. And also they're doing some stuff that you and I would never really do. Like we wouldn't go off the grid like that.
I would be off the grid in front of my house.
Yeah, set up the van up there.
I'll just be outside in my house, in front of my house. I'm like, you know what? I just want to get away from Mariel for a second. Just hop into the van. Maybe go to a park somewhere, or just like camp here and there. But I'm not going to live off the grid and shit. I like the grid. The grid's nice.
The grid.
I appreciate the grid. I see. Well, that was the thing too. Like when you told me about that, like it just, what the fuck is wrong with kids, man?
What?
Or just human beings. Like that girl just posted everything on TikTok. You didn't fucking call the cops?
Oh my God. And just so many more people. And then here's another one too. This one really fucking pissed me off. People on TikTok every hour posting hottest Gabby update. Hottest da-da-da-da-da. Honey, no one needs news from you when every fucking media like company is covering this case with the most pertinent, correct information. People doing 24-hour live TikTok streams of help find Gabby, donate here. No, you're farming likes, you're farming comments, and you're farming followers. Fuck you. And you know what else? Every one of you people that farm followers off of live Gabby Petitto streams, everyone's gonna unfollow you because they don't give a fuck about your shitty ass content because those are the only ideas you have.
Dude, I'm telling you this. So like the other,
I'm so mad about that case, David.
So it's interesting that you mentioned that, right? So there was a dude on TikTok, and I don't think half of the people understood why I was irritated at this. I wasn't really irritated at the guy per se. It was just what he does is what everybody does now, right? Which is the idea of instead of being knowledgeable about something, they prefer to just create content just because they have nothing better to do. And they're trying to farm these likes. So, for example, it was this bitch checking herself out, or what's up?
No, I felt like I had too much raw foot going on here.
Raw foot?
Yeah, y'all need to pay for this.
I don't think so. You ain't getting paid. That's why I got my fucking feet covered up. No. But
yeah. So
it was a simple video, and people thought the video was about this guy messing up Korean food, right? So he puts up this video of this Korean soup dish, and it wasn't what the dish was. He just looked at a photo and he just started recreating it, and he's rolling his eyes about how delicious it is. And I'm like, as a Korean dude that grew up with this food, I'm like, that's not what it is. So why did you create this video? And so I went on this quick little rant, and they're like, oh, why can't you just let him enjoy making your food? I was like, because he's not making my food.
Your food?
I was like, first of all,
your food?
Exactly.
Is this my mother?
Yeah. I was like, he's like, people can't like enjoy creating like other people's food. That's not what I was saying. What I'm saying is I'm sick and tired of people just creating content just to create it without being knowledgeable about what they're creating. Because you're misrepresenting my people.
Oh yeah. Where is the passion? Where is and I talk about this all. I'm getting mad, dude. I'm fucking snarling over here, David. You see that shit? I'm being real passionate about this. I'm a very passionate person, and I believe that you should have purpose and intent with everything that you do. So, for example, with my true crime content, it was kind of I was doing different things all over for a while, and what I realized is the thing I care about the most is, like I said before, like as a person with PTSD, I think that trauma is the biggest epidemic, and I try to. My purpose is to bring trauma to light that people might recognize in themselves so that they don't commit violent acts because of those repressed feelings, And that is my purpose, and that is my intent, and that is the vessel that all of my content and all of my words come through. So that way I'm not just picking up random shit on a Tuesday trying to like score a couple of likes, Yeah. And that's what people do. Dude, we're just in the boom of content creation phase, and so much of it is disingenuous. Not saying like I'm not trying to gatekeep or say like mine is like my shit sucks. I'm like still working on my stuff every day. But people are here that don't really care. That you know what? So many people are making content because they want to be famous. It's for their ego, like they want to be liked. But I think when you get to a certain point, you have an opportunity to spread a message and to change something.
Yeah, and like I don't think it's like I'm saying, it just goes back to the fact of like, people are going to watch this shit, right? Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, your video gets like the video that he did. Your video got like 1 million views. And now people look at that, and I'm a kid who's Korean, and they go, oh, that's what that dish is. This is what Korean food is, but it's not. So it's like, you just misspread information. And now all these people who are too scared to come to people like me who look like me for the information, they're going to go to your fucking little white face and they're going to be like, hey, you know what? Instead of actually like learning about the culture, I'm going to let him do the work, but he's not doing the right work. So it's not about him creating, you know, the food properly or correctly. It's the fact that he made himself the source of the information, saying, I am knowledgeable, follow me, listen to me.
Making it about themselves.
Yeah. So this is where the issue is. It's like, listen, if you just made the dish the way it was supposed to, and you just did, I don't know, one fucking Google recipe is all you had to do. Yeah. That's the smallest amount of respect that you could have done. Because now you have a huge following and you just misspread all this information. And it wasn't done in comedy. It wasn't done in jest. It wasn't like you saying like, oh, I'm just having a conversation with somebody. You did a full-on video recipe about, hey, I know what Korean food is. This is what it is. White boy, like the fuck are you doing? You know?
Oh my God, I gotta see this.
Yeah, but he took it down.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because I fucking reposted it. And I was like, the fuck is this?
Wait, did other people comment on it like that too? Were they like,
well, yeah, because everybody that would comment that they loved it, like the 100,000 views was all white people. But then when, you know, Korean people saw it, they're like, wait, you're misrepresenting our food. Like, don't misrepresent our food.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so he deleted and took it down.
Oh, shit.
So he's not a bad person.
Yeah, at least he took it down. Yeah.
He's not a bad person. He's not an asshole. I'm just saying, like, just be somewhat responsible for the stuff that you put out. When you just create things for likes just because you want people to love you, that shit dies out real quick. Yep. You're going to get called on this shit super fucking fast. And it happened with him. Like, he's like, oh, I bet you in his mind, he's like, what did I do wrong? You're not an evil person. But then people will have problems with you misrepresenting their culture, especially when you're not of that culture.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I don't give a fuck about the food. I don't ever gatekeep food. I've had some delicious fucking Korean food from white people.
I know what you're feeling, because before I was telling you that there was like a small thing where I had actually felt appropriated for the first time, and I felt it on a spiritual level. I was like, what is this? And it was the same exact thing. It was somebody taking a name of something and then misrepresenting it and saying this is what it is. And I'm like, that's not what it is. And I felt disgust, David. That's what I felt. I felt disgust, and I felt the need to like defend my honor.
Yeah.
That's my next tattoo.
I was telling people it's not about the food. It's about this idea, and it's just an example of this person doing it with food. But everybody does it in everything that they do. They go, oh, it's like a white girl being like, hey, how to put tracks in your hair. Like, bitch, the fuck is
she better do it right.
Yeah, you better do it right. You know, it's like how, I don't know how to deal with black girls' hair. And it's like this white girl. It's like, what are you doing?
I would want to see. I wouldn't just like, you know, excommunicate.
But doing it wrong.
But
right?
yeah, you said that he did it completely wrong.
And doing it wrong, right? It's like, okay, so yeah, it's cool if you're a hairstylist and you know what's up. But if the video is completely wrong and everybody in the comments is like, yo, so that's how you do it. So this is why it is. But all the information is wrong. Now you're completely misrepresenting a culture, because now people believe you're a source of knowledge. And you're okay with that. And you shouldn't be okay.
And you're just
with
like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like, I'd be like, yo, just at least get a Google search.
I'm like low key fucking annoyed at how much we can talk. Like, it just keeps going. Like, when you have other guests, like, bro, we fucking ping pong so much. Like, when you have other guests and it's just one other person, do you have to kind of like fuel it a lot? Because we just be
usually a lot.
We just fucking be going. It's almost annoying.
What's the time slot at? We had an hour or something?
What?
Oh, we had an hour 20.
Oh shit! All right, bye, y'all. Come to the show now.
Well, guys, hey, come to the show, the live Genius Brain show.
Yes.
Tell them the date.
Live Genius Brain. It's November 11th. I'm pretty sure it's on Veterans Day. You're probably already off. It's in Anaheim. Look, we kind of put it. It's a little bit of a drive, but LA can get there. Long Beach can get there.
People are flying in from other states.
Dude, you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would cry, dude. And you know what? We didn't set up any meet and greet stuff. We didn't set up any merch either.
We don't even say. We'll see them.
Yeah.
Everybody vaccinated.
Because as long as everyone's vaccinated, come in. The room is pretty big. I think the room is like 800 or something. It might be a little bit small. Like, we might make it a little bit smaller, but there's already like a couple hundred people coming. I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe it, David.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
But seriously, if you don't have your card, you will get like turned away at the door. So get on it. Figure some shit out, bro.
Yeah, that's the California rule right now. So
yeah.
Make it happen. Genius Brains every Thursdays and Sundays until next year. Next year is going to be once a week. And then, where can they follow you, Boze?
Oh, I'm Big Boss Boze on like most of my things. And then on YouTube, I'm Boze Does True Crime.
See y'all next time.
Bye.